microphone on? Do we have a microphone plugged in?
I would have even showed up earlier. But
Hello, hello.
NASCAR stuff was on. Everyone wanted to watch that, and then we had dinner late. Well, Brian was all stubborn, so he barely got up and put it together, and then fell back to sleep afterwards, and then had to get him up and eat it. So,
Easy. Get down. Check, check. Okay, we're live right now. Yes, hello. Are we broadcasting? We got signal. Sabrina's Friday. Sabrina's Valentine's dance and jam party, and so nobody's showing up. Brave day, all late. We got a good signal. Are we getting it? Okay. Oh, we got peg meter. We don't need peg meter. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now we got it as a room mic. So this guy that was here shows up, and we're assessing him as not looking quite like not fitting a homeless profile, but he was been in around the neighborhood. He used to live in this neighborhood. You remember him, right?
no,
He was a tenant here and then got evicted.
I don't notice hardly anyone.
Anyway, he was a tenant here at the mobile home park and then got evicted. And
Yeah.
so anyway,
I'm in New York. I don't notice anyone.
Okay. Anyway, so he's been coming and going here or there, whatever. And
I don't notice anybody.
And
Why do they get along with everybody?
Yeah.
They don't notice anybody.
And I've noticed weird stuff disappearing when he's been here before, stuff moving around and knick-knacky things. Weird knick-knacky methamphetamine profile stuff. Tweaker stuff.
He didn't look like a tweaker though.
He's not a tweaker anymore. I think
It's like
he was.
he's just a big puppet.
I think he's a recovered tweaker. Or maybe it was girlfriend got him into tweak.
He talked a lot about mushrooms and all that other shit, but he's awfully young to have done anything.
Anyway, here's the deal though. Strike one in my book was when he produced my bottle of alcohol I used for killing flies and cockroaches and anything like that, whatever. This thing that I use with the visual effects sometimes. Kapoof. Okay. When he produced it out of his backpack when I went looking for it. Remember, you were here last night when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was messing with the kid.
So anyway, that was strike one in my book when he produced that out of his bag after we were looking for it. And he gave himself away I use that thing for killing the bugs. He's in the kitchen waving at these flies that come. They got this compost. When I get my composter built, the fly problem goes away. I'm gonna make my composting sink thingy, and then I can make my compost in the composter, and it automatically conveys to the irrigation, and it becomes a problem effort-free composting system that I can teach the world how to build. Okay.
Too many projects become not finished.
Well, they're all small projects. I've got my problem is people want me to do all their projects too.
The old speed addicts, they get 6 different projects going at the same time and never finish one of them.
Yeah, well, see, my problem is I got 6 different projects for other people going all at the same time, and I can't finish any of them. So I didn't ever even get to do mine. I don't even get to start mine sometimes. For weeks. I'll collect the parts. Well, there's the piece. put it in the bag. There's the piece, put it in the bag, put it in the bag. And it's sometimes the project get waylaid by, they get separated by somebody moves them on
Parts
me.
and pieces.
In the parts and pieces, yeah. So I've been really good about it, like suitcases and, unbreakable boxes, like, whatever, the store them had been collecting. But what's better is as I get more time, when I retire from their shit and I get more time, then I get to take the stuff that goes to the project and immediately put it in the project, and it goes where it goes, and it's done, and that project moves along. Right. That's what it's the frantic comes from, not getting to do it.
I think you've been this way all your life, though.
No, it's built up over the years from not getting to do my shit, from always not getting to do what I want to do.
A lot of hate.
It's hate.
You never.
It builds up hate. It builds up anger.
Taught how to let things go.
No, I was hate because I was not been able to fucking build my shit. I haven't had the time to do what I want to do. Anyway, what are you doing, Beans?
Then why did I always have time for me to do whatever I wanted to do?
Because you didn't like my life. You're different. Everybody's different. Come here, Beans. Come on.
I wouldn't allow that to happen.
Sabrina.
No one tells me what to do. No one's ever been able to tell me anything to do.
Well,
I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
If I wanted to go cook, I went to cook. If I wanted to go draft, I went to draft. If I wanted to go to school, I went to school.
Yeah.
No one's ever told me what to do, and I always did whatever the fuck I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, me too.
No, you didn't, because you have anger issues because you think that everyone stops you from doing things.
It's not that they stopped me. It's not people telling me what to do. It's the fucking needing the goddamn money because I can't get paid. And one thing I want to do is I gotta go over there and get paid over there and get not paid enough, and then go over there and they don't pay me
how
because
you do that?
Because
of
that.
You figure out how
not
to
get paid enough to do this other thing.
Whatever you want and get paid for whatever you like to do.
Yeah.
You just get paid for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and what happens? What happens if that don't happen? Even if you're badass at it,
then I go over to another project and make sure.
Even if you're the best there is at what you do, and it don't happen because all the people that are in the control of the industry are all threatened by you because you are the best at it. Because you're better than they are, and so they do everything they can to keep you out of the industry. How about that? And they shove you into all this underneath your jobs, the sound engineer jobs and the other jobs.
And all the best ones out there that did make it never allowed that to happen because they just
the ones that
they
you
just
think
took
they're
them,
best,
set them aside, and went on and did it.
They were.
You know what I mean?
See, the thing is,
That's the difference.
They were willing to play their game.
It's not a game.
There's another game.
They were just very good at what they did, and they just
pushed
pushed them aside and did what they wanted to do.
There's another secondary realm. There's a whole other secondary realm that goes in.
That's how you do it.
The ones that are in control want to stay in control, just like the ones that are in government that are in control.
Then you figure out how you become control. You become control.
Yeah, well, see, I did it. We invented the internet. We're broadcasting. We're doing it right now.
That actually sounds like
we helped invent
J. Trump saying I invented the internet.
No, we helped invent the internet. Let me say it properly. We helped invent the internet. We helped.
Oh my God!
Because of the internet.
So delusional.
We did. We went to Comdexes, went to the conferences.
Well, I went to Comdex 3 different times. Yeah. So what?
So you helped too. You're part of it. See, so now.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I didn't invent the internet.
Yes, you helped.
No, I didn't.
Everybody that was involved in the conversations helped. You have no idea how far reach and how small a little thing does. It's like vibrations in space-time radiate through everything, but you can't feel it. You understand? You can't feel it go out there, but they go out there. Same thing with a word, or just one word you could say. The right one person could radiate in your public place and radiate out and change the whole face.
I'm not saying that.
See what I'm saying?
I'm not saying that.
Butterfly effect.
I'm just saying I know I didn't invent the internet.
Yeah, the butterfly effect happens hysterically too.
The butterfly effect happens everywhere in the universe.
You went to the Comdexes. You were part of the conferences. You had conversations with people.
Sure you did.
You see what I'm saying? So you're part of
what I wanted to do.
Yeah, but you also had conversations, conveyed ideas. You convey an idea. Who knows what that idea did? You planted a seed and let it go. You have no idea
But
where
I
that
didn't
seed
have
went.
that grandiose in my head
It's
that
not
I invented
grandiose.
the internet.
No, it's not grandiose.
That's
Just a way of saying. It's my way of saying that everybody has potentially that much of an input when
well,
it
I
comes
agree
to
that every
the
person
world.
on this earth inputs other people.
You have
and
more
everything
control
else.
than you really
The domino
do,
effect
even though
happens.
control is an
I agree with
illusion.
that. I agree with the domino effect of
Yeah,
everyone.
the
affects
butterfly
everything
effect
in the
works
world.
etherically too.
I agree with that.
Words is a simple little word, like the first bikes and blues that happened in Sunset Park was, hey, what's her name was Cheryl or I remember, yeah, something. The Las Vegas Blues Society vice president
Yeah.
lady, and then what's his name, the president of the Las Vegas Consortium Motorcyclists Association, you know, or the Nevada Association.
Oh, is that the guy
Motorcyclists.
that has the pigeons hit his chest while he's going down the road on the motorcycle?
No, anyway, it was those two
Oh,
that I mentioned
help
the
us,
idea
Lord.
to. See, that's
God.
my point. All you got to do is just the right words in the right ears, and it boom, and it flowers. See, like a seed.
Right. I agree with that. I know how cutthroat the business is. You don't have to tell me that.
But
I mean,
see, the thing
hell,
is that was
my
a-
dad was maybe one of the better actors of his time and never
Yeah.
got the chance
Yeah.
because of politics.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know,
The
because he
backstage
was-
politics.
you know,
Boom. There's the word backstage politics.
I mean, he went to Hollywood. He did everything he could. Had a resume up the yin yang, and it still didn't do anything beyond his local following of whatever. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but that was fine with him at the end of his life. He wasn't. He had no regrets.
Anyway, that boy by 86 was one strike one, finding him showing up with alcohol in his backpack
But
too.
the scale might show up somewhere.
No, the
You
scale
never-
didn't. But I mentioned the scale, but it's not the scale. I didn't count against him because I might show
it
it.
might be around.
And I
somewhere.
told him that. I told him I'm not accusing him. I just told him it's missing. And and
Right.
until it's missing,
It might be
until it's missing, it's kind of held as suspect. But I'm
I've seen you
not accusing him.
misplace something for 2 weeks and find it 2 weeks later.
Mm.
Right where you put it.
Well,
Right? Remember the thing was inside the freaking thing, and you never looked at the thing to look
Yeah.
in the jar,
yeah,
the phone, or whatever the fuck you were looking for.
it wasn't the phone. It was something else. But yeah, it was a stupid thing I did.
You put
But-
it in the.
But that's
put
why.
the lid on it.
But that's why I didn't accuse him of stealing that. And he
But
showed
I'm
up.
sure that
He showed
is
up.
around.
He showed up with.
'Cause I've seen you pick
alcohol.
it up off of numerous places when you were looking for it, so it wasn't always in one spot.
Anyway, we caught him with alcohol and had a flame excuse. The other one, I didn't accuse him of the scale, but he acted weird when I mentioned it. So
Yeah.
And then, but the strike 2 and 3 was him whipping out his knife, and then strike 3 was just him arguing to me about a stupid thing, trying to make me sound like I didn't know what I was talking about, like making me. It's trying to make me him sound him make it sound like I'm the one who called them liars, when I didn't. He's the one who called them liars. And when I tried to call him on it, you didn't back my play because you weren't listening or something. You said you weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying
You weren't
attention.
paying attention. But see, there you go. The importance of paying attention. There's some education. Should always pay attention to all things. This is what we.
Hell, I
learned.
can't even get him to pay attention to the freaking music we listen to because he runs his mouth so much.
I pay attention to more than you think.
Because I said, well, what did that guy just say on that and he couldn't say. He couldn't tell me because he was running his mouth too much.
Well, if you're talking,
See, that's paying attention.
if you're talking, sometimes your own voice overruns
Sure
what's
it
coming
does.
into your ears, and you don't even hear it.
It's just like talking through
But that's why people.
a television show, and you never know what the hell the television show is
Well,
about.
all right, but that's why people would start arguing back and forth. They don't not even hearing each other anymore because they're yelling at they're hearing themselves. Right? Boo. Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, you know,
They start yelling at the same time. All they're hearing is themselves
but
and talking or
and
in
and, and
conversation.
and the greatest way of receiving knowledge is to listen.
Yeah.
And when one person talks continuously, there's no way to listen and to learn because they're always talking.
Anyway, speaking of that, you haven't had enough. You talked in medicine.
Not fucking medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, you brought this one. Okay.
Dang, everybody
That's
has
a good
a.
one.
I wish we could see something, but you want to go live. You know what I
You wanna
brought?
watch
I
something?
brought the best. You know those with the hot German
I
chick
could-
that does and I am butterfly. You know what I mean? You
I
know
could give them alternative track to listen to while we listen to this one. Other one.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know the Beat Club shit.
Yeah.
I got the best of the Beat Club, like hours and hours, volume 1, 2, and 3 from all the different. You know, it's not just like one Beat Club edition. You know,
I know what
volume
we can
1, volume 2, volume 3.
I know what we could do.
Like I have,
We could
I have
find it
like a
online.
best of.
We could find it online. Just use
I have it and right on my flash
I know,
drive.
but we could find it online and send. I could put a. We're listening to this on a sign. We're listening to this. You want to go listen to it?
Yeah,
Here's what
but
we're
then no
listening
one would ever.
to. Well, nobody's watching anyway. Okay.
I mean, no one would watch you watch it.
Right.
You know,
We had that conversation earlier.
you know why would anyone sit there for 2 hours watch this to watch that? You know, I mean, it never happened.
Right.
You know, they'd be drooling off the side of their mouth, you know, sleeping, you know, while they're watching that.
I know. What
It's
we
got to
could
be
do-
exciting, you
Now,
know,
here's what we could do.
like you know, wang bang, toolang.
We could
stuff.
plug in the musical instruments, send those to the live feed, and then we could listen to the Beat Club and jam along with no sound. We don't even have to.
But this
hear
is
what
really
we're
cool.
playing.
What this is it started like I think it started as early as maybe 65 or something like that. Because it seems like the very first beat clubs out of Germany, it was a television, a weekly television show like American Bandstand was or something like that. But it was more progressive in the sense of because it was Europe, it was Germany.
Okay.
So and it was almost all either English rock and roll players or American role players. Once in a great while, they'd throw in some European that you never heard of, you know, some band, some weird band that only speak German or only speak Dutch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it would be so funny. They'd have this really hot chick with black hair and stuff, this German chick, really hot chick, going, you know, and just talking this German, you know. And then the Beach Boys or whatever the band
Oh,
was,
something. Oh, okay.
you know, and it would be live in front of an audience. And they'd be really playing their instruments. It wouldn't be like American Bandstand that they'd be dubbing it, or not really playing. They'd be really playing on a stage. One song, 2 songs, 3. It all depends on how big the band was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
think you're right.
and they'd have like in an hour's time, they would have like 6 bands to play in an hour once a week. And online, I found because I go on these torrent sites, you know, to download all this old music and stuff, and I found somebody that had this uploaded, all these old black and white from the 60s all the way into it sounds like mid 70s, about 10 years worth of shows.
Here's what I can do. While we listen to
And it was pretty cool.
While we listen to 15, 20 minutes worth of Beat Club, I grab the bass guitar, tune it up. We don't have to hear the bass, but I'll hold the bass, I'll play the bass to the Beat Club, send that bass guitar signal to broadcast while we listen.
But it'd be just random.
No, it'll be me making a bass track.
lines.
Now listen. I would take then after we listen to that, I would take that track that I put in, and we can put in some drums or some other stuff. I put in other stuff on top of that track. You understand? I'm multi-track right through the internet.
Right.
With it through time delay. Right off of the live feed.
You know, you have to do things that brings an audience, you know, and listening to, you know, random
Well, see, that's
bass
the thing.
tracks, and then
Well, the thing is,
this track, and then that track.
No, the
You're
thing
really
is-
getting the big audience.
well, the thing is
for
that
that.
once
Yeah.
we put in one bass track, we can
I know.
layer that, and it gets another sound on it. See, and then I got multiple sounds. See, they layer sound on sound on sound. And see, the idea was to have some people dancing in here and whatever while we're doing this shit. We ain't got nobody in here. So
Did you really expect a lot of people
when
though?
it rained,
Because
no.
of rain.
I was expecting a lot of people, but then it rained. So, but that's why I didn't spend too much energy getting
didn't
ready
look-
for it.
Doesn't look like you.
I took a nap instead.
Doesn't look like you moved anything.
That's right. I took a nap instead because it's like it's fucking raining, and I don't think anybody's gonna show up. Maybe Bliss or somebody local in the neighborhood might walk over and show
I'm
up.
surprised. I'm
So you showed
I'm
up.
surprised the two girls did.
We'll girls show up, and well, maybe that's not over yet. It's only 9:30. Maybe they'll show up.
Our little mystery, little duet
Yeah.
comes over to get high. I'm surprised
Right.
about them. Then they're always going back and forth.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's typical.
Ooh.
Typical girl talk shit.
Yeah.
It's funny. But you can tell that they're just coming over to get high.
They're not here because
They're definitely not here.
Raymond has plenty of weed. Is why they're long on weed at the moment.
Oh, they got weed
Yeah. Well, they did this job with me. Got paid. I paid them with weed.
and weed. They don't need weed anymore.
Right.
They don't need to come over here. Hey, how come when I have weed, I always come over? That's strange.
Because you're.
Oh yeah, because I come over so I can smoke weed.
Yeah, you come over and smoke weed, but when you have weed, you come and smoke it with
Right.
me because you're fair. You do what's right. You're not a mooch.
Right. Yeah. No, that's one thing you can never say I was.
Not a mooch. You might be.
I might not smoke as many bowls as you smoke with me, but I smoke as high quality as I can.
Oh yeah,
find.
it's high quality again.
Right. That's the difference. I guess.
Sabrina just laying on the floor, going, "Oh, I'm a 4-dog now."
On the floor,
Would
dog.
it not be a
now.
4-dog?
Whoa, and he almost was a floor dog there. He almost became the same height as you.
Actually,
When
you know,
fell down.
the he part of me is all shielded by the girl parts all around us. So the girl parts would have hit the floor first. And wait, you want to be you don't want to be no 4-dog, do you?
It sounds like a what is it? Yeah, an adventure movie. You know,
It is.
the shield.
I
The
am
shield will prevent this from happening.
I am the Avenger movie.
Yeah. There's the
Here, babe,
shield.
come on. You don't be no
There's
4-dog,
my
do
girl
you?
part. This is the shield.
You want to be no 4-dog, do you? Come on, you don't be no 4-dog.
Oh, I have so much fun.
Here.
I want to be the shield.
Here, come on up here.
Of the shield
Yeah.
of the shield.
Yeah, come on up here with me. Yeah. Uh-huh. You
Oh,
may not
here,
be dancing
do this
at the
thing.
moment.
Let me load a bowl over here, and you put the silly flash drive in.
Okay.
Because I just put it. I had just enough room to put it on my little. I already went through that 100
So-
gigs.
So this
2
is
weeks.
called this event is called
Horrible.
the Jam and Dance Party. So the way it's going to work here, and see, we're priming this all this discussion so people know what's going on. As long as you let everybody know what's going on when you do have viewers, you know. Anyway, so as we listen to this, I'm going to jam along with it and create a bass track. Then that bass track will be something
Well,
I
why
use.
would we want to listen to it in the first place if we're going to listen to you jam along?
We're
with
not
the
going to
music?
listen to it. You're not going to hear me jamming.
Oh,
We're going to listen to the track because I'm going to have the bass just going out into the broadcast. I'm not going to be listening to what I'm playing either.
it'll be
Okay.
amazing.
And it will
It'll
be
be like
amazing.
Arnett Coleman
And then-
in
then I'll-
1959.
Then I'll play that back and put drums
Of
to
course,
it.
no one knows Arnett Coleman, so I can say that. No one in this room knows who Arnett Coleman is.
Then I'll play that back and put drums to it. And as we put drums to it, somebody can dance.
Yeah.
And then then we put other tracks and then blah blah a few things. And then when we're tired of that, we move on and do another one. Right? Yeah. See how we do that? That's all. So that's why it's called the Jam and Dance Party. We're gonna jam first and then
This
dance.
is good.
Yeah.
Now I'll give you a lesson. Arnett Coleman was the father of free jazz in 1958. Arnett Coleman was.
Yes. Okay.
And he did free jazz. He would get a bunch of people together in a studio and just have nothing and just play.
Yeah.
And whatever came on each other's minds, and it was just like a free
The total
form
improv,
jazz,
complete freeform improv.
Right.
I love that
And-
shit. I just love that's like
and he
what
was
I
the
live
father.
for.
He was the father. He was the first one to ever put it on vinyl.
Oh my god. Dude, can we find that? I'd love to hear
I
that.
have that.
You
I
have
have
it?
a
Oh, I
bunch
wanna
of
hear it.
Arnett. I just
I know.
downloaded Arnett Coleman today.
Mm.
That's what it reminded me of, Arnett Coleman.
All right, but we're looking for exactly which one here.
Okay, it's toward the bottom probably of the list because it's called. It's probably in like Variety. It's called Variety, and then it'll say something about the
Various
beat
artists.
club.
Here it is, Long Beat Club.
Right. It's a long beat club, meaning it's elongated. It's not just the 45-minute beat club that they would have, volume 1, 2, 3, 4,
Mm-hmm.
or episode 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
But
We'll get this tuned up real quick before we start.
but because I haven't put it all together into FLAC, you're just gonna have to grab it, I think, in the other format and just put it in VLC. I'm sure it'll only play in VLC. And as I said, I don't know how old or new of the recordings, but it's kind of mixed. It's like a best of. So it might be volume 1 is the earliest stuff from the best of the beat clubs.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes it's only one song, and sometimes they'll do like 2 or 3 songs in each.
Okay, we're sending there. Okay, good. I can hear it. They can hear it. You can't. Okay, now, the next thing is, I'm going to tilt this up so you can see this. Okay, video TS. It's a single video.
No, I think it's a bunch of videos, isn't it? Yeah. I think.
It is, okay.
Because I haven't put it in FLAC form. It's still in ACC form, wherever the fuck that is.
Media, video, okay.
Yeah, you just grab them all and it'll just go pop, 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 pop. It'll just go simultaneously if you drop it into VLC.
Okay, that's how we do
But
it. Okay. All right, I need votes on how to answer her. Always Yoko Ono, or either Yoko or Brittany on my first shows up. We both follow all each other on Facebook and Twitter. So anyway, so I always reply. In a peaceful world, we don't hurt each other. We just love and we just share love and joy and creativity. Come on. Creativity. Well, that won't do. Even I get bored of hearing what I'm saying. Ha ha. How do we answer that one?
who's that, Yoko?
Yoko, honey. I don't know what to say.
Where are we, Yoko?
I'll think about it some more. We'll just park it over here. Okay, hanging out. Thinking about it some more.
Who cares about
Okay,
Yoko,
while we
so?
go. Right here.
All she does is scream anyway. She was married
like
to
some
John,
of the
that was
stuff-
about it.
You know what though? See,
If Yoko had never married John, she would have been a notebook. I mean, she would have just been known as a sculptor or stuff like that for a short period of time, and just moved out, never been known. It was John that made her famous.
yeah.
Yoko was just she had her own shows and different things in London, but beyond London, she was really never known, even as a sculptor.
Right. Okay.
But,
That could be possible.
Well, She grabbed a hold of John and knew what she had. And she had never even heard of John. She had never listened to the Beatles. She didn't even know who the Beatles were, hardly. That's why John fell in love with her, because here's a fan, a non-fan that likes me because I'm John. I think that's why he fell in love with Yoko. She had no idea who he was. Yeah, there's a great story about that, how they met. He always loved to go to like art shows and different things like that. He was always interested. He was an artist himself, you know. He liked to paint and stuff, you know, John Lennon. And so he went to this one show, and it might not have been just all hers. It might have been hers and 3 or 4 other people that had the art show. You know what I mean? And her section was maybe one big room, you know, and then there was other rooms, you know. Because I don't think he went there because of her name, you know. He might not even have heard of her name, you know. But he went there, and then he went into her room where her stuff was, her paintings and different sculptings and stuff. And he said in the middle of the room there was this structure that had a ladder that went up to this platform.
Okay, so we're gonna shut
So
down.
being John, he had to climb the ladder to
Mhm.
find out where it went. So John climbs up the ladder, and there's Yoko sitting up there, and that's where they met. And and John goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she goes, "Well, who are you?" And you know, and John instantly knew that this girl doesn't even know who I am, you know, and I'm John Lennon. Everybody knows John Lennon, you know. The second they would see him, they would know. And so, you know, he goes, "Wow, this chick doesn't even know who I am. This is amazing," you know. And I think that's what attracted him, because she wasn't, you know, I mean, he was married. He had been married to one of the most beautiful model type chicks in London. You know, he could have all the girls, any gorgeous woman he could, you know, he would want in the world. And here he picked somebody that is kind of not that good looking and just kind of plain, and you know, and short, and you know, nothing that you would have thought John Lennon would have ever married. But because of this girl had such a personality and didn't know who the hell he was, and wasn't like, you know, liking him because of his money, or because she was fairly well off, you know. I mean, she was a respected, you know, artist, so she definitely wasn't after his money, you know. And didn't know who he was and how famous he was. Just had heard of his name and heard of the Beatles. That's about it. But didn't follow him. Didn't listen to his music. Yeah, it was like, you know. And it was the end of the breakup of the Beatles, I mean, because he was so fascinated by her. He had to have her around 24 hours a day. And then, you know, and the Beatles never had their wives or girlfriends or anything in the studio or anything like that. It was about work, you know. And John had to have Yoko like right there all the time, and just upset the rest of the Beatles, you know. And then Paul, I think, started having his new wife hang out there, and then it just become just a big family affair, and they didn't get nothing done, you know.
Okay.
So
That sucks.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
you can tell why the Beatles broke up is because, you know, it wasn't John's fault either that he fell in love. You know what I mean? It was just the way Yoko and him were so attached that, you know, there probably wasn't no room.
To each other.
Right. There wasn't no room for the Beatles any longer after John met Yoko. You know, even though John wanted to play music and wanted to play with the Beatles, it's just that, you know, it was cool. I mean, at the end, they played some of their best stuff they had played in a few years at the end, because they understood that it had to be. But I always thought that was a cool thing of how Yoko and John met on top of a stairwell. You know, it was like in the middle of
That's
the room,
cool,
and this stairs, not steep, you know, just kind of like going up to this little platform.
Yeah.
You know, in the middle of the room, and probably her paintings and other little sculptures was around the room. You know what I mean? Because it was her show in that room. You know, everything in the room was hers, but it was just this was the biggest thing in the room, the biggest piece, and the stairs. Of course, John's fascination. Goes, oh, I got to go up the stairs and see what's on the what, you know, because he couldn't see. It was just above where the platform was. You could just see the bottom of a platform. You know, because it was kind of all open in a way, but you couldn't tell what was up there. And he goes, well, maybe there's another sculptor, or, you know,
Something,
another
yeah.
sculpting up on the top, you know, that's hid, that you got to go up the stairs to see.
Sehr, sehr traurig. So, jetzt aber weiter.
In euren Briefen wurde immer wieder eine Band gewünscht. Vor ihrer England-Tournee sind sie zu uns nach Bremen gekommen. Wir sprechen aber nachher noch drüber. Die Rebels.
I'm just pumping in little tidbits.
I don't know if I have this song, but I have songs.
Eins, zwei, eins, zwei, bla bla bla, one.
10:30 bis 11:30 Uhr. So, und jetzt geht es gleich weiter mit Graham Bunny und seinem Supergirl. Hey, Supergirl!
You want to get going home, huh?
Yeah, I have dogs to let outside.
Well, okay. Well, you know what? I can do this. If we'll send you off and say Happy Valentine's Day. If anybody shows up tonight later, you know, because they're going to be here all night,
Okay.
and then you decide you want to go back and party some more, you can. Okay?
Okay.
And then we'll go in and end this live stream. Say good night to everybody, whoever might be.
Good night.
Okay. And we'll end this live stream and just pick it up later if somebody shows up.
Okay.
That's how we'll do it. And we'll all listen to
Yeah, we'll just
Beat
listen.
Club.
Beat Club.
Yeah.
The funny ones.
Yeah.
At least they're getting the known.
Alright.
Known
All
ones.
right, Justin.
You take care.
You're welcome.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Little Hershey heart.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for now. So we're gonna leave you with more of.
Those are hot. That's sweet, hot, and chocolate. Sweet, hot, and chocolate. Hey, that sounds like a porno movie.
Sweet and hot chocolate.
Yeah, sweet, hot,
All right,
chocolate.
here. All right, here. Let's. Can you do the dialogue?
Sweet, hot, and chocolate. See? There's the hot. And then there is the sweet. And then there is the chocolate. That's what Frank Zappa would say. Sweet, hot, and chocolate.
Sweet, hot, and chocolate, baby. That's how we're going
right.
to this street. Sweet, hot, and chocolate.
Back in 1968, I met my first sweet, hot, and chocolate. Of course, in 68, you could find a lot of sweet, hot chocolates. 1968.
Yeah, 1968.
You're going to find a lot of hot, sweet chocolate. Any white boy could get some hot, sweet chocolate in 1968. A lot easier than 1978. He beat you up for that in 1978. Isn't that where we went backwards while we were going forward in time? 1978, you get beat up for that. 1968, you wouldn't. Unless you went in certain neighborhoods, of course.
Yeah.
On the norm, your friends and stuff wouldn't accept that. 1968.
Yeah.
But in 1978, they wouldn't. We went backwards in time. In evolution.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
For about 10 years, we went backwards.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Even though they were talking about sexual revolution and all kinds of other stuff, but it kind of staggered.
Okay, I'm gonna give it about about a 30-second bass solo before I hit end.
You know why it's staggered?
Why what?
You know why it's staggered? Why evolution staggered, especially in the United States? Why it was acceptable to a white man going out with a black girl in 1968,
Okay.
more acceptable with your friends and around than it would be in 1978, is because we had conservatism, even with Jimmy Carter, which was a Christian type liberal thinker, but very conservative in his viewpoints of those type of things. You know what I mean? And then you get Reagan. So you have Nixon, Carter, Reagan, 70s, and that's very conservative in those type of thinkings. You know what I mean? Black and white together, or pot smoking, or any of the things that you would think you would get with a liberal president and liberal Congress or whatever. You didn't get because of Jimmy Carter, because he was such a devout Christian. He was almost conservative in some viewpoints, and then, but give the bank away and other, in liberal business-wise, he was a liberal, but in moral things, he was conservative. But anybody was better than what they had. So they were, most unbelievable choice, and one of the most unbelievable until this president, the most unbelievable choice we've ever had as president.
Yeah, like the movie Michael Moore, when in that movie, like, how in the fuck did that happen?
Right.
I think I worded it right. Is that word for word? Or did I mix it up?
Yeah.
Did I paraphrase it?
Yeah. I love Michael Moore. He's a big mouth genius. I mean, in the sense of he knows exactly the way he feels, and he's not scared to say it.
That's right.
And
he knows
he's
how
pretty
to
smart.
say it.
And he's smart. He's a smart man.
And he does know how to say it.
Oh yeah, and that's because he's a smart man. He does his homework. He knows what he's talking about.
It's true. Smart people do their homework.
Yeah, and they don't speak like a lot of people do, and don't know their subject when they speak. He knows his subject. He doesn't speak falsely. He says, and this is the facts, and I'll back it up.
Or how about that? How about an example of a kid? They don't speak out like trying to make after they blurt, and then try to cover it, make somebody else sound like it was their blurt.
All I heard from that kid is how high he
can get. Yeah,
that's all I heard from him. I never heard any other thing besides how high he can get.
Smoke pot. Wish I could get that high, that I could mistake somebody else's thing that completely don't even fit anything I ever had in my life, that I don't even carry around with me in my bag. Right? Yeah, right. See how suspicious that is.
Oh, I knew. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was back there hearing it, and I was ready for a slam or something, some crazy shit. But I was going to duck behind the thing.
I felt like smearing them across his floor and turning them into paste, because that's how I feel about thieves. Yeah. That's what I think thieves deserve. They deserve to be pasted.
Pasted.
And then plastered.
Let's smoke a little bit more pot.
And not with drugs. Pasted and plastered literally on a wall.
We'll
Or
start
fed to the
this thing
dogs.
so we can hear at least a couple more.
Made
before I
into
have to
dog
go.
food. That'd be a good one.
Because I gotta get pretty soon because it's a 3-hour tour.
How'd you like that, Beans? You'd have a lot to eat. We just decided all seeds get made into dog food.
Ooh,
Oh boy.
eat, my neighbor.
Sabrina.
Eat my neighbor.
Yeah, there'd be lots of dog food in the world. No starving dogs.
Oh, this is cute. Look at this. Yeah. Social, grateful, happy Valentines. It's a little Valentine's Day of my heart delight with, this, with the dancing bears and all kinds of stuff. And you can download this little thing to put on your Facebook thing,
Yeah.
It's cute,
Cool.
But, the deadheads, throw little presents to you. And once in a while, I get free stuff from the dead too. Just being on their list. Even though I've never ordered anything from them.
Oh,
But
that's another intelligence test, boy. I tell you what. Sorry, don't dwell on that shit. Another intelligence test, by the way. I started testing his intelligence as soon as I caught him with that alcohol and ballot. It's like the excuse he made. Not smart enough to make up a decent excuse. See, that's how you can tell somebody's intelligence, by their excuses. Their so-called excuses, what they think is what should excuse them.
Well, this is cool. It's called Community Bits. Okay, maybe it was your first show, maybe it was your 200th, but for whatever reason, your life was never the same afterwards. This is going to your first dead show.
Okay.
Tell us about that life-changing show here. The tape trading topics have been pretty active lately for a variety of reasons, from people seeking to rehome their cassette collections to folks in search of tunes they lack. If this sounds like something you'd like to be part of, head on over. Sunshine Daydreams, that merry band that came together on DeadNet around the Fare Thee Well shows and has kept the party buzz going ever since, are variously involved in planning their Dead and Company summer adventure. Also recommended bands to check out.
About that.
So it's pretty cool. I mean, they're all always selling their shit,
Yeah.
But hey, Jerry, they probably sold more shit after Jerry died than they ever did. Oh, that's way cool. Check that mug out. It's a pretty cool mug.
Oh yeah, sweet. All right, here, let's go back to our
With a bunch of turtles on it.
and this. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. We love you all. We'll see you later. Okay. We don't love the fact that thieves thieve, and kind of we hate the thieves for thieving, but we love them in as much as that they still have a life, and we wish that they would not be thieves. That's all. But otherwise, if they still be thieves, they still want to be thieves, we wish that they would turn into paste. Right? Right. Bye.